place on May 19th in Corner Brook, home of Memorial University's Grenfell campus. In this 10th session, taking place on Friday morning, June 3rd, 2022, there will be the conferring of the degrees of Bachelor of Science Nursing and Master of Nursing. Also, at this session, an honorary Doctor of Laws will be conferred upon Ian Angus Ross Reid, former Member of Parliament, democracy advocate, and international volunteer. The mace, a symbol of the authority vested in the university, is carried by Carolyn O'Keefe of the Office of the Registrar. Convocation will be officially opened when the mace is placed on the table in front of the Chancellor as the presiding officer.
Please be seated. I hope you feel welcome here this morning, all our graduates and all their admirers and supporters there. And we're just delighted to see you all this morning. We begin our convocation session with the land acknowledgement. I would like to respectfully acknowledge the territory in which we gather as the ancestral homelands of the Beothuk, and the island of Newfoundland as the ancestral homelands of the Mi'kmaq and Beothuk. I would also like to recognize the Inuit of Nunatsiavut and Nunatuhavut, and the Innu of Nitassinan and their ancestors as the original people of Labrador. We strive for respectful relationships with all the peoples of this province as we search for collective healing and true reconciliation as we honor this beautiful land together. So now, I'm going to call on our President and Vice Chancellor, Dr. Vi-Ann Timmons, and ask her if she would address Convocation.
Thank you, Chancellor. Chancellor, Honorable Minister Sarah Studley, a great friend of Memorial University. Great to see you here. Member of the Board of Regents, members of the Senate and faculty that are here, members of the graduating class, all of you, the reason we're here, and distinguished guests. Good morning, students. We're going to try that again. Good morning, students. Good morning. That's great. Congratulations. I knew you are going to hear a lot of that today. Relish every moment. You know, when I first walked in, you looked so solemn. Now I'm starting to see smiles. This is your day, students. Your day. Enjoy, relish every emotion that you're feeling. Welcome also to all your family and friends who are here to celebrate your success with you. Welcome, everyone. I am so pleased today to welcome a special guest to this morning's celebration, Ross Reed, who will receive an honorary doctorate. Ross Reed has been involved in government and politics in Canada since 1975, holding high-ranking positions for more than a decade. For more than 2 decades, he worked as an international consultant on human rights and democratic development, notably for the National Democratic Institute for International Affairs. He has worked in Iraq, Afghanistan, Bosnia, Kosovo, Ukraine, many other countries. He's also advised and conducted democratic development programs in more than 25 countries in Asia, Africa, and Europe. For his dedication to democracy, provincially, nationally, and internationally, something today that is more important than ever, we will be honoring soon-to-be Dr. Reed with an honorary Doctors of Laws with you graduates today. Graduates, it's been a quiet couple of years with COVID, so today, let's make some noise. I want you to laugh, to cheer, to hoot and holler. I want this to be fun for each and every one of you today. You think you can do that? Have fun? I hope we can, because things feel different this spring. And you know what that feeling is? It is hope. Hope that we're seeing a light at the end of the long COVID tunnel. You nurses know that better than anyone. In every cloud, there's a silver lining. If we can just see it, recognize it, grab it, and strengthen it, then we'll have a lot to look forward to. Every year, winter gives way to spring, and we welcome tulips, daffodils, lupins, and lilacs. In March, Iranians celebrate their new year. They close the door on one chapter of their lives and turn the page to the next with great excitement. The Inuit in Nunavut celebrate the Tunic Time Festival, a 2-week celebration that marks the return of the sun to the snow-covered north. And May Day, the ancient festival of spring, is celebrated by cultures all around the world. Why? Why do we do that? It is because the hope of being able to start new and better is a universal hope. And Convocation is like that. Convocation is the start of something new for each and every one of you. You faced what is arguably the greatest societal upheaval of our generation. In the middle of your programs, COVID hit. We had to send some of you home and do courses remotely, and I know many of you found it very challenging. But what did you do? You persevered. You knew how important it was to finish your degrees, to keep moving on your educational path, and that kind of adaptability and commitment is good news for all of us here today. It means you, the generation coming up behind us, our leaders of tomorrow, are ready to face whatever life throws at you, even if you think you can't. You graduates, you are our greatest accomplishment, And today we honor you. But as president, I'm also proud of everything Memorial has achieved over the past year, and I'm just going to name a few. I can't resist, because this university has done some great things in challenging times. I was thrilled when we announced our 6th campus in Happy Valley Goose Bay. Our Labrador campus, thrilled because I grew up in Labrador. How many of you are from Labrador? Show me. There, see, we know, you know what I'm talking about, growing up in Labrador. It's a leading center of research, education, policy, and outreach by and for the North. And in the fall, we're going to welcome our first-year nursing and engineering students to its campus. It also helps, I think, it also helps with donut making. The campus hosted a research forum welcoming over 240 people to share research and celebrate Labrador culture, including the first ever virtual Innu donut making. I've tasted those donuts, and I've never gone back to Tim Hortons, graduates. They are magnificent. We welcomed a record number of students to our campuses last fall, more than 19,400. One of those is Albin Jose Toms, an international student, a born entrepreneur. His pop-up, Black Pizzeria, is selling out its sourdough pizzas. That's hard to say. Black Cat Pizzeria is selling out its sourdough pizzas within minutes of them being posted on social media. We also, here at Memorial, had a record total sponsored research income of $176 million. That's money well spent in our province. A novel study led by a Memorial University researcher has revealed that aging might not be inevitable. Think about that. I'm very excited about this research. A science researcher found out that fish do not age like mammals and birds. And let's watch and see where that goes. And finally, if you've ever questioned the value that Memorial brings to our province, listen to this. An economic impact report released last year concluded that Memorial has an annual economic impact of $627 million. That's almost as much as agriculture, arts and entertainment, and seafood product manufacturing combined. Team Memorial is doing amazing things, and now you are members of Team Memorial. It's time to paraphrase our university motto, to launch you forth into the world. Convocations are special events in the life of a university because they celebrate and rededicate the university's primary responsibility, the success of you, our students. We celebrate not just the outcome from your journey the past few years, but the combined future as we welcome you to the Memorial family as alumni of our great university. And graduates, it's a future filled with hope. Don't look to see if the glass is half full or half empty. Figure out how you're going to fill it. With hope and faith, you will make things happen. Now I'd like to speak to you directly. I'm going to ask those who earned a master's degree in nursing to please stand. Pursuing a second degree takes dedication and tenacity, and you have done that. Through your unique paths of study, you pursued new avenues of thought and gained diverse new perspectives on the world. These perspectives will serve our communities well, because in the coming years, you will use the wisdom that you gained in your education to accomplish wonderful things. And as leaders in our nursing profession, we need you, we depend on you, and we know that you will work to make the world a better place. Thank you for pursuing your master's in nursing. Thank you. Would those receiving a Bachelor of Science in Nursing please stand? That's kind of what we want to hear. You're hooting and hollering. Remember that. As a highly trained health professional and a source of comfort for those who are in need, you'll have a tremendous impact on the lives of countless people. You already have during this COVID period. When you're a nurse, you know that every day you'll touch a life, or a life will touch yours. As a nurse, you have a lot of responsibility, and you are so privileged to touch the tiniest of hands as you bring new life into the world. Your touch will also comfort those taking their last breath. No matter where your career might take you, I hope that the foundations, values, principles, and professional standards that guided you through your education at Memorial serve you all well. Now I'm going to ask the master students to stand again. I think this is a good time to take a look around this beautiful hall and to thank those who supported you throughout the past years. Many of your family and friends are here, or many may be watching online. They've contributed to you financially and emotionally and supported you in so many ways. I'm going to ask you to turn and face your families and friends and clap your appreciation for all they've done for you. Thank you, graduates. You came to Memorial not knowing what the future would hold. You had a goal, maybe one that even changed along the way, but that is what life is all about. I'll share a little story about changing goals. When I went to university, I did not know much about university. Did not know many people who went to university. My mother put me on a bus with that's when we had buses, right? Public bus, in a little suitcase, and she fixed my collar and said, "Don't talk to strangers." The only advice she gave me leaving for university. I wanted so badly to be a veterinarian. That was my dream. Got to university, I met with the program advisor, and she said to me, "What do you love to do?" And I said, "I love to read." She said, "Great." She enrolled me in an English program. I ended up with an English degree and psychology minor, and realized then that that was not the pathway to be a veterinarian. So graduates, there's endless possibilities out there, and you never know where your path is going to take you. My path took me here to stand with you today. And be open to all of those paths that come in front of you. Albert Einstein once said, "Learn from yesterday, live for today, hope for tomorrow." The important thing is not to stop questioning. So graduates, keep curious, keep asking, but most of all, keep hope in your hearts. We all here have so much hope in you. Thank you for choosing Memorial University as your university.
Thank you very much, Dr. Timmons. And now, it's the time for your convocation to begin, involving you and focused on you. This is your day, special day that you have worked so hard for. And I'm sure you've all been told, excuse me, that I don't know how they organize things with you when you first come in, before you come into the hall, but they will tell you you go over row by row and up the ramp and wait and then come across? Yes, good. Well, one of the best parts of this whole day for me is that I get to meet every single one of you. That's a privilege and a joy. So, you know, there's so many of you here, and the thing is, even if there's, I don't know, either 200 or 250 of you here, there are 200 individual souls that have worked extremely hard and have triumphed. And so, at convocation, I feel it happens one person at a time. and you come across to hear, there'll be somebody from your faculty who will just acknowledge you, and then you come across probably to write there. That's usually where I stand. I get to congratulate you and meet you. And I wanted to just say a little bit about that. Well, to begin with, some people take the plan that they want to get from point A to point B in the fastest possible time. I'm not recommending that. Might be something you really want to do. So what I am recommending is that you savor the moment and take your time coming across and walk. It's really interesting. If people walked purposefully here all week, you have a purpose and a purpose beyond. And just let the light shine into you and see if perhaps there is some little moment that you notice that you would like to save as like a little nugget that you can archive in your soul and take out whenever you want. Your convocation today will be viewable by your grandchildren. Who knows what they're going to watch it on? But, and I said yesterday, or I think it was yesterday, it just occurred to me, my Nan lived with us when I was growing up. And she was born here in St. John's in 1880. And she was put on a train, and then it went across the Gulf and so forth. And she got a degree from Mount St. Vincent. And they would have had a convocation. And I cannot imagine how glorious it would have been for us to watch Nanny graduating when she was in her 80s. That's there for you. So you can always do that. But I'm just suggesting that it might be very special to have your own little cameo that is just for you, or you can share it. Children love invisible things that they can see. So that may work out for you, I don't know, but it's just a suggestion. You know, when you come across, I went to many convocations before, including my own, and I never noticed how powerful eyes are. But when you are coming across here, your eyes are lit by your excitement, by your think, I really did do this. And, you know, it feels like they shine from your soul, and they're just so stunning. And that's another way that I feel I really get to meet every person, because we have a little bit of time together, not long, don't know, maybe seconds, but we have that time together. And so anyway, I just tell you one little thing. A couple of days ago, out in the parking lot here, we had been talking in that morning about remembering. And one of my colleagues said, you know, what my mom used to say? I said, no. And she said, you can't remember a day, but you can remember a moment. And so this has been the summit of your academic life to this point. It's also the summit of so many other experiences and feelings and thoughts that you have had. So a summit, I always say the summit is right here, because that's when you and I meet, and then you go off. but this invisible gate, or whatever you would call it, in that moment, you come from being a graduand who has passed all the requirements, and you come over from that threshold into your future. And I've said this, I never used to say this before, it just occurred to me this year. And I said, said to everybody, you might like to think about, imagine that for yourself. And this gentleman came across, and he said to me, I'm 62 years waiting for this day, so I'm certainly taking my time. And then he did this big leap over into his future. And it's funny because, that has come in all sorts of different ways, but I mean, that is something that you really would remember. We're not encouraging you all to leap. You do whatever is special for you. And it may be just an interior thing that you notice and feel. But it is your special moment, and you really do want to remember it. I'm going to speak to your families and your friends here now for just a moment or two. Your pride in these folks is unmeasurable, immeasurable. And you are the reason they're here today. I mean, they've done all the work and gone through the difficult times on their own, etc. But this all began when they first were put in your arms. Because the love and the caring and the values that you taught them and the fact that you were there steadily for them, that gave them the grit and the confidence to come here and do this. So I just want to really, can we acknowledge your parents just by clapping and telling them that? So now, I guess you move that way. You're probably waiting for a signal. And we'll meet you soon.
Chancellor, in the name of the Senate of the University, I present to you the candidates for the undergraduate degree approved for this session of Convocation. I have certified to the Senate that these candidates have fulfilled all the requirements pertaining to the degree. I therefore request that you admit them thereto.
On the authority of the Senate, I, as Chancellor, will now admit these candidates to the degree and confer upon them all of the rights, privileges, and responsibilities which belong thereto. I call upon them, on the hearing of their name, to present themselves before me in the hood appropriate to the degree.
For the degree of Bachelor of Science in Nursing, Sundis Ahmed Abdi.
Sundis Ahmed Abdi is from Mississauga, Ontario.
Shams Al-Badouche.
Shams Al-Badouche is from St. John's.
Samantha Denise Allen.
Samantha Denise Allen is from Buren Bay Arm.
Jessica Diane Andrews.
Jessica Diane Andrews is from St. John's.
Lily Marie Ann Antle.
Lily Marie Ann Antle is from Mount Pearl.
Kristen Molly Atwood.
Kristen Molly Atwood is from Edmonton, Alberta.
Nu Wa Un.
Nu Wa Un is from St. John's.
Alana Marie Baker.
Alana Marie Baker is from Lakeview, Nova Scotia.
Chelsea Lynn Faith Barrett, winner of the University Medal of Academic Excellence in Nursing.
Chelsea Lynn Faith Barrett is from Bishop's Cove.
Jonathan Jason Mitchell Barrett.
Jonathan Jason Mitchell Barrett is from Markland.
Amber Ann Elsie Benoit.
Amber Ann Elsie Benoit is from Clark's Head.
Caitlin Janetta Bishop.
Caitlin Janetta Bishop is from Upper Island Cove.
Melanie Eileen Bishop.
Melanie Eileen Bishop is from Harbor Grace.
Heather Rose Blackmore.
Heather Rose Blackmore is from Harbor Breton.
Shelby Ann Blanchard.
Shelby Ann Blanchard is from Grand Falls, Windsor.
Catherine Muriel Boland.
Catherine Muriel Boland is from Mount Pearl.
Nathan Trent Bollinger.
Nathan Trent Bollinger is from Saskatoon, Saskatchewan.
Carissa Marie Bradbury.
Carissa Marie Bradbury is from Whitburn.
Cherie Ann Burry.
Cherie Ann Burry is from St. John's.
Catherine Melissa Butt.
Catherine Melissa Butt is from Carbonear.
Curtis Rupert Butt.
Curtis Rupert Butt is from Mount Pearl.
Sarah Marie Byrne.
Sarah Marie Byrne is from Conception Bay South.
Caitlin Jean Corrine.
Caitlin Jean Corrine is from Mount Pearl.
Laura Mary Cave.
Laura Mary Cave is from Mount Pearl.
Beth Alexandra Chater.
Beth Alexandra Chater is from Mount Pearl.
Alana Marie Cochran.
Alana Marie Cochran is from Flat Rock.
Maggie Erin Cole.
Maggie Erin Cole is from St. John's.
Tessa Victoria Cole.
Tessa Victoria Cole is from Labrador City.
Megan Haley Coles.
Megan Haley Coles is from Conception Bay South.
Cassandra Darlene Collins.
Cassandra Darlene Collins is from Orangeville, Ontario.
Emily Rose Collins.
Emily Rose Collins is from St. John's.
Brianna Victoria Coos.
Brianna Victoria Coos is from Gander.
Jensen Cornwall.
Jensen Cornwall is from Burlington, Ontario.
Cecilia Tracy Denise Critch.
Cecilia Tracy Denise Critch is from Lassie.
Caitlin Susan Curtis.
Caitlin Susan Curtis is from Trepassey.
Katie Annette Dawson.
Katie Annette Dawson is from Bay Roberts.
Emily Elsie Deering Slade.
Emily Elsie Deering Slade is from Salmon Cove.
Abida Dogar.
Abida Dogar is from St. John's.
Kayla Sheila Dunn.
Kayla Sheila Dunn is from Mount Pearl.
Heidi Jane Dunphy.
Heidi Jane Dunphy is from St. John's.
Regina Deruru Okarafo.
Regina Deruru Okarafo is from St. John's.
She's 51, but I'm probably the oldest.
Jillian Kelly Edwards.
Jillian Kelly Edwards is from St. John's.
Amber Lynn Ennis.
Amber Lynn Ennis is from Placentia.
Jillian Ann Feehan.
Jillian Ann Feehan is from Outer Cove.
Leah Faith Fifield.
Leah Faith Fifield is from Mount Pearl.
Anna Lucy Jean Fitzpatrick.
Anna Lucy Jean Fitzpatrick is from St. John's.
Jessica Mary Fleming.
Jessica Mary Fleming is from Portugal Cove, St. Philip's.
Alicia Pearl Fleming.
Alicia Pearl Fleming is from Paradise.
Bradley David Edgar Fowler.
Bradley David Edgar Fowler is from Mount Pearl.
Sarah Carolyn Frazier.
Sarah Carolyn Fraser is from Riverview, New Brunswick.
Mackenzie Sheila Fury.
Mackenzie Sheila Fury is from Torbay.
Robin Brienne Nicole Gardner.
Robin Brienne Nicole Gardner is from Mount Pearl.
Amber Rose Galton.
Amber Rose Galton is from Boat Harbor West.
Isabel Elaine Gauthier.
Isabel Elaine Gauthier is from Bathurst, New Brunswick.
Caitlin April Genge.
Caitlin April Genge is from Paradise.
Megan Eva Genge.
Megan Eva Genge is from Norris Point.
Gina Alexa Joyce George.
Gina Alexa Joyce George is from St. John's.
Parker Michael Thomas Glavine.
Parker Michael Thomas Glavine is from Buckens.
Amanda Jean Graham.
Amanda Jean Graham is from St. John's.
Abigail Krista Gray.
Abigail Krista Gray is from Lumsden.
Ashley Michelle Hatcher.
Ashley Michelle Hatcher is from Conception Bay South.
Jenna Elizabeth Hatcher.
Jenna Elizabeth Hatcher is from St. John's.
Kristen Brianne Hocko.
Kristen Brianne Hocko is from Mount Pearl.
Paul Thomas Hickey.
Paul Thomas Hickey is from Placentia.
Amy Brittany Hicks.
Amy Brittany Hicks is from Clarenville.
Brianna Jandy Hiscock.
Brianna Jandy Hiscock is from Bonavista.
Emily Victoria Hiscock.
Emily Victoria Hiscock is from Paradise.
Victoria Joanne Hiscock.
Victoria Joanne Hiscock is from St. John's.
Rebecca Catherine Hopkins.
Rebecca Catherine Hopkins is from Paradise.
Julia Caroline Hutchings.
Julia Caroline Hutchings is from Happy Valley Goose Bay.
Morgan Adriana James.
Morgan Adriana James is from Conception Bay South.
Samantha Elizabeth Cow.
Samantha Elizabeth Cow is from St. John's.
Sarah Elizabeth Kathleen Cattenbush.
Sarah Elizabeth Kathleen Cattenbush is from Gander.
Natalie Violet Ruby Keeping.
Natalie Violet Ruby Keeping is from Bay Roberts.
Kira Beth Kavanaugh.
Kara Beth Kavanaugh is from Tor Bay.
Caitlin Marie Knox. Alexandra Mackenzie LaForge.
Alexandra Mackenzie LaForge is from Kitchener, Ontario.
Celia Ide Lamoureux Barnes.
Celia Hyde Lamoureux Barnes is from Victoria.
Megan Rose Marie LaPierre.
Megan Rose Marie LaPierre is from Mount Pearl.
Missoon Lee.
Missoon Lee is from Blaketown.
Eilish May McCharles.
Eilish May McCharles is from St. John's.
Emma Grace McDonald.
Emma Grace McDonald is from Quispamsis, New Brunswick.
Bree McDougall.
Bree McDougall is from Bible Hill, Nova Scotia.
Rebecca Ann Madden.
Rebecca Ann Madden is from Mount Pearl.
Joshua Patrick Marr.
Joshua Patrick Marr is from St. John's.
Megan Jane Matthews.
Megan Jane Matthews is from Conception Bay South.
Brooke Marie McCarthy.
Brooke Marie McCarthy is from St. Bernard's.
Drew McDermott.
Drew McDermott is from St. John's.
Brianna Caroline Meadis.
Brianna Caroline Meadis is from Harbor Grace.
Samantha Joy Melindy.
Samantha Joy Melindy is from New West Valley.
Marshall Christopher Miles.
Marshall Christopher Miles is from Grand Bank.
Christian James Miller.
Christian James Miller is from Fogo Island.
Kiana Sydney Mitchellmore.
Kiana Sydney Mitchellmore is from Green Island Cove.
Riley Noble Malloy.
Riley Noble Malloy is from Torbay.
Joseph Patrick Molyneux.
Joseph Patrick Molyneux is from St. John's.
Rebecca Lynn Moore.
Rebecca Lynn Moore is from Fall River, Nova Scotia.
Mary Beth Catherine Moores.
Mary Beth Catherine Moores is from St. John's.
Maria Suzanne Morissette.
Maria Suzanne Morissette is from Labrador City.
Jonathan Rodney Morrissey.
Jonathan Rodney Morrissey is from Cuslet.
Rebecca Lynette Moland.
Rebecca Lynette Moland is from Newtown.
Christy Alexandra Mullally.
Christy Alexandra Mullally is from St. John's.
Jessica Melanie Mullet.
Jessica Melanie Mullet is from St. John's.
Dana Elizabeth Maloney.
Dana Elizabeth Maloney is from Witless Bay.
Claire Patricia Murray.
Claire Patricia Murray is from Harbor, Maine.
Haley Mariah Swankinson Neal.
Haley Mariah Swankinson Neal is from Tilting.
Lucas Eric Norman.
Lucas Eric Norman is from Gander.
Hillary Francis Noseworthy.
Hillary Francis Noseworthy is from St. John's.
Alexander Leo O'Brien.
Alexander Leo O'Brien is from Ferryland.
Laura Marie O'Brien.
Laura Marie O'Brien is from Goulds.
Nicole Marie O'Brien.
Nicole Marie O'Brien is from Mount Pearl.
Rebecca Elizabeth O'Brien.
Rebecca Elizabeth O'Brien is from Paradise.
Noah Bernard O'Neill.
Noah Bernard O'Neill is from Paradise.
Megan Michelle O'Rourke.
Megan Michelle O'Rourke is from Bay Bulls.
Abisola Temitope Ola Fahmihiman.
Abisola Temitope Ala Fimahan is from St. John's.
Taylor Dorothy Marie Oakley.
Taylor Dorothy Marie Oakley is from Shoal Harbor.
Destiny Natoya Oram.
Destiny Natoya Oram is from Glovertown.
Kayla Lillian Owens.
Kayla Lillian Owens is from St. John's.
Samantha Michelle Sean Perrell.
Samantha Michelle Sean Perrell is from Torbay.
Bailey Glennis Julia Parsons.
Bailey Glennis Julia Parsons is from Cheerstown.
That's my girl. Michaela Barbara Ann Pennell.
Michaela Barbara Ann Pennell is from St. Mary's.
Vanessa Kristen Penny.
Vanessa Kristen Penny is from Portugal Cove, St. Philip's.
Taylor Sherry Lynn Pitcher.
Taylor Sherry Lynn Pitcher is from New Harbor.
Michelle Janine Plowman.
Michelle Janine Plowman is from Upper Island Cove.
Heather Dawn Pollitt.
Heather Dawn Pollitt is from St. John's.
Leah Elizabeth Pomeroy.
Leah Elizabeth Pomeroy is from Conception Bay South.
Chloe Jane Power.
Chloe Jane Power is from Grand Falls, Windsor.
Nicole Margaret Lucy Power, winner of the Margaret Fitzpatrick Morgan Medal in Nursing.
Nicole Margaret Lucy Power is from Paradise.
Tyler Robert Power.
Tyler Robert Power is from Paradise.
Emily Carlick Pye.
Emily Carlick Pye is from St. John's.
Chelsea Margaret Reed.
Chelsea Margaret Reed is from St. John's.
Mia Robinson.
Mia Robinson is from Fall River, Nova Scotia.
Gregory Dennis James Rogers.
Gregory Dennis James Rogers is from Creston.
Naomi Glenda Rogers.
Naomi Glenda Rogers is from Grand Bank.
Danica Rogers Williams.
Danica Rogers Williams is from Happy Valley Goose Bay.
Kaylee Erica Lynn Rose.
Kaylee Erica Lynn Rose is from Conception Harbor.
Sarah Rose.
Sarah Rose is from Grand Falls, Windsor.
Hannah Marie Rousel.
Hannah Marie Rousel is from Conception Bay South.
Hillary Nicole Sharp.
Hillary Nicole Sharp is from Upper Island Cove.
Emily Margaret Shears.
Emily Margaret Shears is from Rocky Harbor.
Samantha Robin Patricia Short.
Samantha Robin Patricia Short is from Broad Cove.
Kristen Doreen Shute.
Christian Doreen Shute is from Harbor Grace.
Valerie Janice Sims.
Valerie Janice Sims is from Ruddington.
Brandon Kyle Smith.
Brandon Kyle Smith is from Boat Harbor West.
Chelsea Claire Smith.
Chelsea Claire Smith is from St. John's.
Nicole Carol Smith.
Nicole Carol Smith is from Dildo.
Taylor Joanne Smith.
Taylor Joanne Smith is from Bay Roberts.
Samantha Marie Snook.
Samantha Marie Snook is from Conception Bay South.
Sarah Ellen Soper.
Sarah Ellen Soper is from Paradise.
Alana Jane Squires.
Alana Jane Squires is from Harbor Grace.
Jillian Sarah Stamp.
Jillian Sarah Stamp is from St. John's.
Laura Elizabeth Steele.
Laura Elizabeth Steele is from St. John's.
Victoria Pauline Steele.
Victoria Pauline Steele is from Stoneville.
Kathleen Rebecca Stevens.
Kathleen Rebecca Stevens is from St. John's.
Natalie Claire Stone McLean.
Natalie Claire Stone McLean is from St. John's.
Lacey Violet Marie Straight.
Lacey Violet Marie Straight is from St. John's.
Madison Donna Tarrant.
Madison Donna Tarrant is from Conception Bay South.
Zoe Thomas.
Zoe Thomas is from Lourdes de Bon-Sablon, Quebec.
Andrea Margaret Tobin Making.
Andrea Margaret Tobin Making is from Conception Bay South.
Kaylee Faith Tremblett.
Kaylee Faith Tremblett is from Bonavista.
Gabriella Mary Walsh.
Gabriella Mary Walsh is from Owen Sound, Ontario.
Jennifer Madeline Walsh.
Jennifer Madeline Walsh is from Conception Bay South.
Madison Ann Walsh.
Madison Ann Walsh is from St. John's.
McKenna Avalon Walsh.
McKenna Avalon Walsh is from Mobile.
Nicole Eileen Walsh.
Nicole Eileen Walsh is from Torbay.
Isabella Elizabeth Watkins.
Isabella Elizabeth Watkins is from Durrell.
Melissa Whalen.
Melissa Whalen is from Mount Pearl.
Megan Elizabeth White.
Megan Elizabeth White is from Conception Bay South.
Laura Emma Whiteway.
Laura Emma Whiteway is from Musgrave Harbor.
Emily Elizabeth Whitten.
Emily Elizabeth Whitten is from St. John's.
Amber Elizabeth Wilcott.
Amber Elizabeth Wilcott is from St. Albans.
Stuart Edgar Williams.
Stuart Edgar Williams is from Foresters Point.
Cassie Sarah Zila Windsor.
Cassie Sarah Zila Windsor is from Portugal Cove St. Phillips.
Caitlin Amber Windsor.
Caitlin Amber Windsor is from Freshwater.
Keisha Nicole Ann Young.
Keisha Nicole Ann Young is from Conception Bay South.
Xu Zhang.
Xu Zhang is from Dalian, China.
And those who have been approved by Senate for the degree but absent from this convocation.
Admitted in absentia.
Chancellor, in the name of the Senate of the University, I present to you the candidates for the graduate degree approved for this session of convocation. I have certified to the Senate that these candidates have fulfilled all the requirements pertaining to the degree. I therefore request that you admit them thereto.
On the authority of the Senate, I, as Chancellor, will now admit the candidates to these degrees and confer upon them all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities which belong thereto. I call upon them on the hearing of their name to present themselves before me in the hood appropriate to the degree.
For the degree of Master of Nursing, Brianne Bernice Aylward.
Brianne Bernice Aylward is from St. John's.
Allison Nicole Bragg, winner of the Association of Registered Nurses of Newfoundland and Labrador Award for Excellence in the MN Program Research Practicum option.
Allison Nicole Bragg is from Greenspine.
Katie Brazel.
Katie Brazel is from Goulds.
Elizabeth Ann Burry.
Elizabeth Ann Burry is from Wareham.
Robin Julia Burry.
Robin Julia Burry is from Clarenville.
Selena Rose Bemister.
Selena Rose Bemister is from Mount Pearl.
Catherine Emily Clark.
Catherine Emily Clark is from St. John's.
Olivia Claire Cobbs.
Olivia Claire Cobbs is from Mount Pearl.
Terry Lee Costello.
Terry Lee Costello is from Conception Bay South.
Christina Mary Dominy.
Christina Mary Dominy is from Burgeo.
Vanessa Elizabeth Foley.
Vanessa Elizabeth Foley is from Mount Pearl.
Leslie Mary Higdon.
Leslie Mary Higdon is from Conception Bay South.
Sarah Jessica Johnston.
Sarah Jessica Johnston is from Grand Falls, Windsor.
Carly Jenna Lively.
Carly Jenna Lively is from Truro, Nova Scotia.
Stephanie Morag Marshall.
Stephanie Morag Marshall is from Conception Bay South.
Stacy Victoria Pike.
Stacy Victoria Pike is from Harbor Grace.
Amanda Ann Rogers.
Amanda Ann Rogers is from Twillingate.
Melanie Elentina Ryan, winner of the Association of Registered Nurses of Newfoundland and Labrador Award of Excellence in the MN program, Nurse Practitioner route.
Melanie Elatina Ryan is from Paradise.
Megan Alicia Sweetnam.
Megan Alicia Sweetnam is from Inuvik, Northwest Territories.
Erica Stephanie Taylor.
Erica Stephanie Taylor is from St. John's.
And those who have been approved by Senate for the degree but are absent from this convocation.
Admitted in absentia. We're fortunate now to have a musical performance by students and alumni of Memorial School of Music. Stella Wee graduated in 2020 with a master's in piano performance. Anna Rumbold is currently completing her master's in vocal performance and pedagogy, and Erin Lee is starting her 4th year of the Joint Music and Business degree, a program what degree? No, that's right. And she's majoring in vocal performance. They're going to perform, I think this song will be familiar to you, When You Believe, from the animated musical drama The Prince of Egypt by composer Stephen Schwartz. Would you please welcome them?
no proof anyone could hear. In our hearts, a hopeful song we barely understood. Now we are not afraid, although we know there's much to fear. We were moving mountains long before we knew we could. There can be miracles when you believe. Though hope is frail, it's hard to kill. Who knows what miracles you can achieve when you believe. Somehow you will. You will when you believe. In this time of fear, when prayer so often proved in vain, hope seemed like the summer birds too swiftly flown away. Yet now I'm standing here with heart so full I can't explain, seeking faith and speaking words I never thought I'd say. There can be miracles when you believe. Though hope is frail, it's hard to kill. Who knows what miracles you can achieve when you believe. Somehow you will. You will when you believe. There can be miracles when you believe. Though hope is frail, it's hard to kill. Who knows what miracles you can achieve when you believe. Somehow you will. Now you will. You will when you believe.
To Stella and Anna and Aaron. We are now going to proceed to the conferring of the degree honoris causa.
For the degree of Doctor of Laws honoris causa, Ian Angus Ross Reed.
Chancellor. Much has been made, and rightfully so, of our graduating cohort who have completed their degrees during some very challenging circumstances. It is wholly appropriate, then, that we now honor a gentleman who has spent a professional lifetime immersed in challenging circumstances. He agreed to serve as the Federal Minister of Fisheries and Oceans less than a year after the declaration of a cod moratorium in his home province. He traveled to and lived in multiple war-torn countries to help secure basic human rights. And, perhaps most perilously, he accepted jobs where you might have to say, I don't think that's a good idea, to Premier Danny Williams or to Minister John Crosbie. Our honored graduate is a skilled and respected diplomat who builds lasting relationships and who sincerely cares about the plight of humanity. Ross Reed grew up near Rennie's River in St. John's and attended Holloway and McPherson schools. He developed a taste for geopolitics at a very young age. Family lore has him at age 7, quizzing his younger sisters on the premiers of Canada. Young Mr. Reed soon cut his political teeth in the local youth parliament. He would complete his secondary education at Ridley College and then attended Huron College, the founding college of Western University. Here, he became involved in student government, including a term as president of the Students' Council. He returned to St. John's in the mid-1970s and was soon working for John Crosby during the latter's terms in the provincial and federal legislatures. Mr. Reed subsequently earned positions as special advisor to Finance Minister Michael Wilson and to Prime Minister Brian Mulroney. Mr. Reed was elected in the federal riding of St. John's East in the 1988 general election. He served as parliamentary secretary in 2 different ministries before his 1993 promotion to a minister of dual portfolios in Fisheries and Oceans and the Atlantic Canada Opportunities Agency. He now worked alongside Minister of Finance Crosby as the catchily named Fish and Chips team. The next federal election brought a major turnover to the House of Commons, but this proverbial closing door presented new opportunities for Ross Reed to effect change via the not-for-profit sector. He has spent parts of the last 28 years helping to secure a better quality of life for citizens around the globe through the National Democratic Institute for International Affairs. Mr. Reed's work includes coordinating with local citizens to ensure the provision of democratic elections, fair parliamentary processes, opportunities for women, and basic human necessities. He has taken on projects in almost 40 countries, which include extended postings in Ukraine, Kosovo, Ghana, and Afghanistan. International colleagues speak of Ross Reed as a man who thinks on his feet and delivers on his promises. They say that his affable personality and sense of fairness earns the trust of political figures, of refugees returning to their homelands, and of militant rebels alike. An associate in Afghanistan uses the phrase Javan Mardi to describe Ross Reed, a man of bravery and generosity. Yet, he is someone whose discretion and humility preclude him from sharing his extensive adventures and accomplishments. His modest demeanor usually keeps him out of the spotlight, but his dedication has been acknowledged with honors from the President of Kosovo and from the Parliament of Ukraine. Mr. Reed has remained involved in Canadian politics in roles ranging from Federal Party National Director to Provincial Party Campaign Chair, to mentor for municipal candidates of varying political affiliations. He also returned to provincial government in several roles, including as a Deputy Minister to Premier Danny Williams, Deputy Minister for the Population Growth Strategy, and Chief of Staff to Premiers Tom Marshall and Kathy Dunderdale. His longest stint was, appropriately, as Deputy Minister for the Voluntary and Nonprofit Secretariat. Mr. Reed is still a committed local volunteer, particularly with organizations that focus on youth, development, and homelessness. He was instrumental, for example, in developing governance documents for the Gathering Place, a social support organization in St. John's, during a critical time in their development. He has also been a ready panelist, speaker, or interviewee for dozens of events at Memorial University and beyond. Our own political science group is particularly grateful for his friendship. It has been said, Chancellor, for those to whom much is given, much is expected. Ross Reed, like most Canadians, comes from a place of privilege. The tools and gifts that he has been afforded have been generously applied to enrich fellow citizens both at home and abroad. Much was expected and much has been delivered. Chancellor, I present to you for the degree of Doctor of Laws, honoris causa, Ian Angus Ross Reed.
By virtue of the authority entrusted to me, I confer upon you the degree of Doctor of Laws, honoris causa.
Ian Angus Ross Reed was born in St. John's. He has been involved in government and politics in Canada since 1975. Mr. Reed served as a Member of Parliament, Minister in the Government of Canada, Chief of Staff to the Minister of Finance, and as an advisor to the Prime Minister. In the Government of Newfoundland and Labrador, he's been Chief of Staff in the office of 2 premiers and Deputy Minister to another. He served as Deputy Minister in 2 other branches of the Executive Council. He's participated in and led municipal, provincial, and federal election campaigns in Canada, and he also served as the National Director of the Progressive Conservative Party of Canada from 1997 to 1999.
Dr. Reed, may I please call upon you to address convocation?
Thank you, my friend.
Chancellor, Honorable Minister, President, members of the Board of Regents, members of Senate and faculty, members of the graduating class, distinguished guests. Allow me to offer my congratulations to you, the graduates, on obtaining your degrees and being recognized as the healthcare professionals that you are. Most of you will agree none of us arrives at a time and place like this in life without the love and support of many people. In my case, my family, my parents, my siblings and their families, and my closest friends and their families have all been generous, patient, understanding, and forgiving as my life has wandered in and out of theirs. I cannot adequately express what their support and encouragement has meant to me throughout the many and varied aspects of my life. Without them, I would not be here or anywhere else, I suggest. I have been blessed to have encountered men and women from whom I've gained lessons and experiences that will serve me all of my life. It has been my privilege to have worked with committed politicians and political activists of every stripe, dedicated and talented public servants, business and community leaders, and the tens of thousands of other people along the way who have shared parts of their lives with me. I am forever grateful for almost 30 years of opportunities afforded me by the National Democratic Institute and latterly the Parliamentary Centre. I particularly remain in awe of colleagues and partners around the world, people who are prepared to commit everything to build a fairer, more equitable society, and yes, everything, including their lives every day, to protect or enhance the democratic institutions that they value so much. Today, friends in Ukraine, Myanmar, Sudan, and Afghanistan are very much on my mind. In the spring of 2002, in Kabul, we conducted a series of rudimentary focus groups. The Afghan people were looking at a hopeful but uncertain future after the Soviets, the Mujahideen, and the Taliban. When asked what democracy meant to them, they allowed that they didn't have a word for democracy, but they expected three things: to be able to choose their own leaders and have them accountable, to be able to express their opinions and not be beaten or worse, and for everyone to be treated equally under the law. Elections, legislatures, rule of law. Three of the most important institutions in any democracy. Three institutions that we take for granted every day. The most important thing every day, sorry. Institutions matter, not for the sake of the institutions themselves, but for the people that depend on the framework and structure they give us as we live together, govern ourselves, and take care of each other. When a country emerges from a collapse or conflict, democratic institutions facilitate, define, and express the values of a new state or society. Institutions give some political balance and allow more people to be heard, to participate. Institutions protect the rights of minorities and the vulnerable. Many of the institutions that Canadians depend on, that we only consider in frustration, are envied around the world. Elections, legislatures, the rule of law, a free media, a professional bureaucracy or public service, and a constitution that guarantees many of our cherished rights and freedoms. Democratic institutions need to be respected, valued, cherished, and nurtured. Sadly, we have seen the effect of institutions that have either failed or are perceived to have failed: fear and division, polarization and extremism, racism and hate. The most important thing for all of us to do to support our democracy is to participate, to be there in our communities, engaged and active. Vote. I don't care who you vote for, but vote. If you aren't happy with the choices, spoil your ballot. In India, like some other democracies, there is a none of the above option, a wonderful tool. Consider getting involved in a political party. God knows they need all the new ideas and perspectives they can get. Become part of your community. Get involved in your kids' schools, support their activities, become active in your union, a charity, or your church. Sign a petition, go to the library, join a softball team, sign up for a course right back here. The most effective democratic institution is people coming together to make a difference, what we call civil society. You are healthcare professionals with exciting, challenging, and rewarding careers ahead of you. You have spent the last 2 years learning in the middle of the biggest healthcare crisis we have seen in a generation. And you stepped forward, provided desperately needed care and comfort at a critical time. Thank you. Your knowledge and skills are rightly valued by you, your families, and your community. Our province needs you, and so does the world. Your degree is an opportunity to travel and to work almost anywhere in this country and many others. And I encourage you to use it to meet fascinating people, learn about this exciting, complex, and fragile planet, and at the same time, do wonderful things for those who so desperately need quality health care, even for a week or a month. I'm not suggesting you leave here, not at all, but I encourage you to think about the possibilities. For example, with the many organizations like our own Team Broken Earth that quietly make a difference in lives every day. In Akarayankulam in northern Sri Lanka, there's a little hospital that sits under the trees along a quiet road. I know they would welcome you with open arms. And when you aren't working, you can travel along the roads and lanes and pathways between the paddy fields on one side, the coconut, banana, and palmyra trees on the other side, where tragedies of the past mix with the spectacular beauty in courageous, hardworking, and generous people. It is much easier to say no than it is to say yes. And I encourage you, expand your imagination, broaden your horizons, take a risk. I promise you, your professional and personal lives will be enriched. One of the most important things I can ask of you and everybody here is to remember those whose lives are so unimaginably different than our own. As Adam Courage pointed out, and may I thank you, my first international volunteer experience was in Ukraine in 1994. That led me to living and working there for the better part of 2 years, followed by 5 years of regular visits. I still have friends there. Ukraine means a great deal to me. It's important in my life. And I am proud and gratified by the response of Canadians, and especially the government and people of Newfoundland and Labrador. But please, please, remember the thousands who struggle to secure the democracies that have been too often brutally denied them, and the tens of millions of people affected by natural disasters, oppression, violence, and conflict who are displaced or living as refugees. These people might disappear from our TV screens, but they continue the daily fight for life. Let me conclude by thanking Memorial University for this tremendous honor and recognizing the work that my friends and I believe in so much. Memorial is one of the most important institutions in this province, and we must all strive to value and appreciate its importance to our future. The university, like all institutions, can only benefit from self-examination and renewal through accountability and transparency. But we must never lose sight of the role we so badly need it to play as a dynamic, creative, confident, and independent institution. A place of learning and teaching, they are different things, of research and investigation, critical to our economic, cultural, and social development. Memorial is a place where men and women from across the province and around the world should be encouraged to come together, to learn from each other, allies and friends for lifetimes. As you head from here, remember and recount with pride your accomplishments and the great advantage that Memorial University and this province have given you. You have taken on a great responsibility and have a huge opportunity. We all wish you success and the satisfaction of bringing wellness and comfort into the lives of who might be needing both. That really matters.
Dr. Reed, thank you so much for this grand communication with our graduating class, so much that they have known something about. But whenever you meet someone who has actually gone out and really worked in different places in the world to strengthen democracy or build democracy, and how much of it is done by just helping lives. And all those opportunities are yours. So thank you for coming and sharing a lifetime of work and some wonderful things to consider. Well, it has come to the end of this part of your convocation, which I know is not ended because there'll be all sorts of celebrations after. I see smiles. I'd say those smiles represent plans, which is wonderful, and so it should be. So we, as Dr. Timmons said at the very beginning, we are so proud of you. You are our pride and our joy. And you are all now members of the alumni of Memorial University. That means that you can belong to us forever. But whether you're in touch or not over the coming years and time, I hope Memorial is alive in your spirit and in your heart, and that even thinking back on your time here would enrich what your life is like elsewhere. But we love you to keep in touch, and we really treasure our alumni and keep in touch with them. So I don't know how many of you are going to something right, after this period of employment. You know where you're going to go or what you're going to do. How many of you know what you want to do? Well, see, that's a hard thing to say. It's not this, but you see it all over the room like this, right? But the opportunities are there, and they're there for you to enter and grow those opportunities for other people. So it's interesting, we've had a range of speakers here through this convocation at 10, is that right? 10 honorary doctorates we've given, and they have all addressed convocation on completely different topics. But one of the things that comes through in all of them is the importance of community. And that community can be a community of people working together in a hospital, and so that the atmosphere then is one of supporting, because there's lots of tense things happen in hospitals. I trained as a nurse 150 years ago. But you never lose it. I then went on to become a musician, but you never lose it, and there's no experience that is ever wasted. But so much of what I learned there was not necessarily clinical, but it was about people working together and supporting each other. I hope you feel in your time at Memorial that you have belonged. It's so important, no matter what stage or place in life you are. And you have the opportunity and hopefully the goal to nurture community wherever you go. Our first community is our family, and then it goes out from there, and it will enhance what you produce and what the quality of your life is as you develop and help others. So always think about, yes, you're an individual with goals and plans and lots of skill, gaining experience, but how we live with each other and work with each other makes a terrific difference. We had a doctor speak to us yesterday evening, Dr. Fala Maroon, who has worked here for 51 years as a neurosurgeon. And he came for 3 locums, and they hardly wouldn't let him go, and eventually they didn't let him go. But he did return. I won't tell the story. It's so fantastic. Go and read the speech. It was wonderful. But he spoke about the atmosphere in his operating room, operating on brains. Very tense, hugely important. And that was something that he really devoted time, and he really spent time on encouraging us about that. So you have, and you all have it in you to be generous and thoughtful and observant. And that isn't just going to help your nursing life, that's going to help the world. Everybody you touch and everybody they touch. And you touched us by coming here, and every day you were here, you helped to build Memorial. And now that you're leaving, you're not completely leaving, because all of the things that you contribute, which you mightn't even realize or think about, they're still here working with people. You know, I've taught for years, and I have been so touched by my students. My students have just almost shocked me with the vision of a question they ask, and it just changes your whole way of thinking about things. So anyway, you have done a lot more than you may think you have done, but I know you're going to do extraordinary work in your professional lives, and we're really proud of you. I'm just wondering if we could, I know we've given some recognition to the folks in the room, but let's do it in this way. I'm going to ask them if they will give a huge, huge, huge cheer for the class of 1990. See, I'm pretty old, and I've been in this room a lot in 1900, so I apologize. The class of 2022. So I'd ask Well, you can stay standing, and the graduates may rise as well. We always finish our convocation by singing the Ode to Newfoundland, and it's inside the front cover of your program. And there are 4 verses, but we're singing today verse 1 and verse 4. But you're taking these books with you, and just if you have a minute sometime, look through the poetry of verse 2 and 3. It's all about our place, but it's even deeper than that. So we'll sing together to say goodbye.
A PhD student in Memorial's School of Pharmacy and her business partner have created a company to make healthcare more accessible to rural and mobility-restricted patients. Bronwyn Bridges and Gordon Genge's product will remotely monitor, analyze, and rate Parkinson's disease symptoms. Grenfell campus, along with university and community researchers from local Mi'kmaq communities, has been awarded nearly $15 million in funding to investigate how repurposed marine biomass can be developed into new products and create a more sustainable future for the province.